The Hermetica. Chapter 1. The Prophecies of Hermes. Pure philosophy is spiritual striving through constant contemplation to attain true knowledge of Adam, the one God. But speaking now in prophecy, I say that in times to come, no one will pursue philosophy with single-mindedness and purity of heart. Those with a grudging and ungenerous temperament will try and prevent men discovering the priceless gift of immortality. Philosophy will become confused, making it hard to comprehend. It will be corrupted. By spurious speculation, it will be entangled with bewildering sciences, like arithmetic, music, and geometry. The student of pure philosophy studies the sciences not as a fanciful theories, but as devotion to atom, because they reveal a universe perfectly ordered by the power of number, because measuring the depths of the sea and forces of fire and magnitudes of physical things leads to a reverent awe at the Creator's skill and wisdom, because the mysteries of music bear witness to the unsurpassed talent of the supreme artist, who has beautifully harmonized all things into a single whole, suffused with sweet melodies. To simply love atom in thought, with singleness of heart, and to follow the goodness of his will. This is philosophy, unsullied by intrusive cravings or pointless opinions. But I foresee that in times to come, clever intellectuals will mislead the minds of men, turning them away from pure philosophy. It will be taught that our sacred devotion was ineffectual, and the heartfelt piety and assiduous service with which we Egyptians honor Atum was a waste without reward. Egypt is an image of the heavens, and the whole cosmos dwells here. In this its sanctuary, but the gods will desert the earth and return to heaven, abandoning this land. That was once the home of spirituality. Egypt will be forsaken and desolate, bereft of the presence of the gods. It will be overrun by foreigners who will neglect our sacred ways. This holy land of temples and shrines will be filled with corpses and funerals. The sacred Nile will be swollen with blood, and her waters will rise utterly fouled with gore. Does this make you weep? There is worse to follow. This land that was spiritual teacher to all humankind, which loved the gods with such devotion, that they deigned to sojourn here on earth. This land will exceed all others in cruelty. The dead will far outnumber the living, and the survivors will be known as Egyptians, by their language alone, for in their actions they will be like men of another race. O Egypt, nothing will remain of your religion but an empty tale which even your own children will not believe. Nothing will be left to tell of your wisdom but old graven stones. Men will be weary of life and will cease seeing the universe as worthy of reverent wonder. Spirituality, the greatest of all blessings, will be threatened with extinctions and believed a burden to be scorned. The world will no longer be loved as an incomparable work of Atum, a glorious monument to his primal goodness, an instrument of the divine will to evoke veneration and praise in the beholder. Egypt will be widowed. Every sacred voice will be silences. Darkness will be preferred to light. No eyes will raise to heaven. The pure will be thought insane, and the impure will be honored as wise. The madman will be believed brave, and the wicked esteemed as good. Knowledge of the immortal soul will be laughed at and denied. No reverent words worthy of heaven will be heard or believed. So I, thrice-great Hermes, the first of men, to attain all knowledge, have inscribed the secrets of the gods in sacred symbols and holy hieroglyphs on these stone tablets which I have concealed for a future world that may seek our sacred wisdom. Through all-seeing mind, I myself have been the witness of the invisible things of heaven, and through contemplation come to knowledge of truth. This knowing I have set down in these writings. Chapter 2: The Initiation of Hermes. My senses were suspended in mystic sleep, not a weary, full-fed drowsiness, but an alert and conscious emptiness. Released from my body, I flew with my thoughts, and while I soared, it seemed to me a vast and boundless being called my name. Hermes, what are you looking for? Who are you? I asked. I am the way guide, the supreme mind, the thoughts of Atum, the one God. I am with you always and everywhere. I know your desires. Make your questions conscious, and they will be answered. Show me the nature of reality. Bless me with the knowledge of Atum. I begged. Suddenly everything changed before me. Reality was opened out in a moment. I saw the boundless view. All became dissolved in light, united within one joyous love. Yet the light cast a shadow, grim and terrible, which, passing downwards, became like restless water, chaotically tossing forth spume like smoke. And I heard an unspeakable lament, an inarticulate cry of separation. The light then uttered a word which calmed the chaotic waters. My guide asked, "Do you understand the secrets of this vision? I am the light, the mind of God, which exists before the chaotic dark waters of potentiality. My calming word is the Son of God. The idea of beautiful order, the harmony of all things with all things. Primal mind is parent to the Word, just as in your own experience, your human mind gives birth to speech. They cannot be divided one from the other, for life is the union of mind and word. Now, fix your attention upon the light and become one with it. When he had said this, he looked into me, eye to eye, until, trembling, I saw in thought limitless power within the light to form an infinite yet ordered world, and I was amazed. I saw in the darkness of the deep, chaotic water without form, permeated with a subtle, intelligent breath of divine power. Adam's word fell on the fertile waters, making them pregnant with all forms. Ordered by the harmony of the word, the four elements came into being, combining to create a brood of living creatures. The fiery element was articulated as the constellations of the stars and the gods of the seven heavenly bodies, revolving forever in celestial circles. The word then leapt up from the elements of nature and reunited with mind the maker, leaving mere matter devoid of intelligence. My guide said, "You have perceived the boundless primal idea, which is before the beginning." By Adam's will, the elements of nature were born, as reflections of this primal thought in the waters of potentiality. These are the primary things, the prior things, the first principles of all in the universe. Adam's word is the creative idea, the supreme limitless power, which nurtures and provides for all things that through it are created. I have shown you everything. Why do you wait? Write the wisdom you have understood in hieroglyphic characters carved on stone in the holy sanctuary. Make yourself a spiritual guide to those worthy of the gift of knowledge, so that through you, Atom may save humankind. I was overwhelmed with gratitude to the All-Father who had graced me with the supreme vision. In awe and reverence, I prayed, "Please never let me fall away from this knowledge of your being, so that I may enlighten those who are in darkness." Then, with his power in me, I began to speak. The aloof laughed at my words, but others knelt at my feet. I told them to stand and receive the seeds of wisdom which I will sow in you with these teachings. So listen, men of clay. If you do not pay keen attention, my words will fly past you and wing their way back to the source from which they come. Chapter 3: The Being of Atom. Give me your whole awareness and concentrate your thoughts, for knowledge of Atom's being requires deep insight, which comes only as a gift of grace. It is like a plunging turret of water, whose swiftness outstrips any man who strives to follow it, leaving behind not only the hearer, but even the teacher himself. To conceive of Atom if difficult. To define him is impossible, the imperfect and impermanent. Cannot easily apprehend the eternally perfected. Atum is whole and constant. In himself he is motionless, yet he is self-moving. He is immaculate, incorruptible, and everlasting. He is supreme, absolute reality. He is filled with ideas, which are imperceptible to the senses, and with all-embracing knowledge. Atom is primal mind. He is too great to be called by the name Atom. He is hidden, yet obvious everywhere. His being is known through thought alone, yet we see his form before our eyes. He is bodiless, yet embodied in everything. There is nothing which he is not. He has no name because all names are his name. He is the unity in all things, so we must know him by all names and call everything Atom. He is the root and source of all. Everything has a source, except this source itself, which springs from nothing. Atum is complete like the number 1, which remains itself. Whether multiplies or divided, and yet generates all numbers, Atom is the whole, which contains everything. He is one, not two. He is all, not many. The all is not many separate things, but the oneness that subsumes the parts. The all and the one are identical. You think that things are many when you view them as separate, but when you see they all hang on the one and flow from the one, you will realize they are united, linked together, and connected by a chain of being, from the highest to the lowest, all subject to the will of Atom. The cosmos is one as the sun is one, the moon is one, and the earth is one. Do you think there are many gods? That's absurd. God is one. Atom alone is the creator of all that is immortal and all that is mutable. If that seems incredible, just consider yourself. You see, speak, hear, touch, taste, walk, think, and breathe. It is not a different you who does these various things, but one being who does them all. To understand how Atum makes all things, consider a farmer sowing seeds. Here, wheat there, barley, now planting a vine, then an apple tree. Just as the same man plants all these seeds, so Atum sows immortality in heaven and change on earth. Throughout the cosmos, he disseminates life and movement, the two great elements that comprise Atum and his creation, and so everything that is. Atum is called Father because he begets all things, and from his example, the wise hold begetting children. The most sacred pursuit of human life. Atum works with nature within the laws of necessity, causing extinction and renewal, constantly creating creation, to display his wisdom. Yet, the things that the eye can see are mere phantoms and illusions. Only those things invisible to the eye are real. Above all, are the ideas of beauty and goodness. Just as the eye cannot see the being of atom, so it cannot see these great ideas. They are attributes of atom alone and are inseparable from him. They are so perfectly without blemish that atom himself is in love with them. There is nothing which atom lacks, so nothing that he desires. There is nothing that atom can lose, so nothing can cause him grief. Atom is everything. Atom makes everything, and everything is part of atom. Atom, therefore, makes himself. This is Atom's glory. He is all creative, and this creating is his very being. It is impossible for him ever to stop creating, for Atom can never cease to be. Atom is everywhere. Min cannot be enclosed, because everything exists within mind. Nothing is so quick and powerful. Just look at your own experience. Imagine yourself in any foreign land, and quick as your intention. You will be there. Think of the ocean, and there you are. You have not moved as things move, but you have traveled nevertheless. Fly up into the heavens. You won't need wings. Nothing can obstruct you. Not the burning head of the sun or the swirling planets. Pass on to the limits of creation. Do you want to break out beyond the boundaries of the cosmos? For your mind, even that is possible. Can you sense what power you possess? If you can do all this, then what about your Creator? Try and understand that Atom is mind. This is how he contains the cosmos. All things are thoughts, which the Creator thinks. Chapter 4. Contemplate Creation. Ask Atom to flash a ray of his illumination into your awareness, giving you the power to grasp in thought his sublime being, for the invisible may only be seen with thoughts, which are themselves invisible. If you can't see thoughts, do you expect to see Atom? Look with your mind, however, and he will appear to you, manifesting himself without reservation throughout the whole universe, so that you may see his image with your eyes and hold it with your two hands. Do you think Atom is invisible? Don't say that. Nothing is more visible than Atom. He created all things so that through them you could see him. This is Atom's great heart, that he manifests himself in everything. Everything can be known, including the insubstantial. Just as mind is known through thoughts, so Atom is known through his creation. Atom is the all-encompassing author of entirety, weaving everything into the fabric of reality. Because creation is visible, we can see the Creator, and this is the purpose of his creation. Since he is always creating, he can always be seen. So we should think and marvel and realize that we are blessed with knowledge of our Father. To know Atom's being, contemplate him in thought. To see him in your eyes, look at the exquisite order of the cosmos, the necessity which governs, everything you perceive, the goodness of all that has been and that is coming to be. Look at matter filled full with life and see atom pulsating with all he contains. Contemplate the cosmos as his ancient body, which is ever prime and new. See the planets circling in eternal time. See the spiritual fire of the heavens, turned to light by the sun, and shed as goodness upon the world. See the ever-changing moon, which governs birth, growth, and decay. See the constellation of the Bear, which never rises or sets, but stays ever a fixed point. An axle around which the circle of the Zodiac revolves. See the comets, which are called prophet stars, for when some future fate awaits the world, they emerge for a few days from their invisible home, below the circle of the sun. Who is it that maintains such exquisite order? The sun is the greatest god in the heavens, a king to whom all the others pay homage. Yet this mighty god humbly submits to have the smaller stars circle above him. Who is it that he obeys with awe? Each star travels its appointed range of space. Who don't all stars run the same course? Who is it who has assigned to each its place? The Bear revolves around herself and carries around with her the whole cosmos. Who is it that appointed her this task? Who is it that fixed the earth and confined the sea within its shores? Someone must be the maker and master of all this. It couldn't just happen. All order must be created. It is only that which is out of measure, which is accidental. Yet even disorder is subject to the master who has yet to impose order upon it. If only it were possible to grow wings and soar into the air. Poised between heaven and earth, you would see the solid ground, the flowing rivers, the wandering air, the penetrating fire, the circling stars, and the encompassing heavens. What joy to see all this, borne alone by the one impulse, to perceive the unmoved mover, moving in all that moves. He who is hidden, manifest thought all his works. Consider for a moment how you were created in the womb. Think of that skillful workmanship and look for the craftsman. Who made such a beautiful godlike image? Who traced the circles of your eyes? Who pierced your nostrils, ears, and mouth? Who stretched your sinews and tied them fast? Who built your bones and wrapped your flesh with skin? Who separated your fingers and flattened your feet? Who shaped your heart and hollowed your lungs? Who made your beauty visible and concealed your guts within? How many crafts have been employed and how many works of art created to form one human being? Statues or portraits don't just happen. Without a sculptor or painter, has such a sublime work have no creator? Chapter 5. The Living Cosmos. The primal mind, which is life and light, being two spirit, gave birth to the mind of the cosmos. The primal mind is ever unmoving, eternal and changeless, containing within it this cosmic mind, which is imperceptible to the senses. This cosmos which sense perceives is a copy and image of this eternal cosmic mind, like a reflection in a mirror. First of all, and without beginning, is Adam. Second is the cosmos, made in his likeness. As the cosmos is a second God, it is also an immortal being, and because everything in the cosmos is a part of the cosmos, it is impossible that any part of it should die. The cosmos is all life. From its first foundations, there has never existed a single thing which was not alive. There is not, and has never been, and never will be, anything in the cosmos that is dead. Atom is life, the everlasting source of energy, the eternal dispenser of life itself. Once energy has been dispensed, its supply is governed by eternal cosmic laws. The cosmos has its being within the eternal energy, from which all life issues, so it is impossible for it ever to stop or be destroyed. It is contained and bound together by the eternal life force. The cosmos dispenses this life to all the things within it. It has a twofold movement. Energy is infused into the cosmos from eternity, and it in turn infuses life into all things within it. Mind and soul are manifestations of light and life. Everything moves by the soul of soul. The body of the cosmos, within which all the bodies are contained, is completely saturated with soul. Soul is entirely illuminated by mind. Mind is totally permeated by atom. Soul fills and encompasses the whole body of the cosmos, which in turn gives life to all the lesser living creatures it contains. The cosmos is the whole, which generates and nourishes the parts, like a parent caring for its children. It receives its supply of goodness from Adam, and it is this goodness which is the true power of creation. The cosmos is the image of Adam, and since Atom is all goodness, the cosmos is also good. Chapter 6: The Circle of Time. In a sense, the cosmos is changeless, because its motions are determined by alterable laws, which cause it to revolve eternally, without beginning and end. Its parts manifest, disappear, and are created anew, again and again, in the undulating pulse of time. Through the process of time, life within the cosmos is regulated and maintained. Time renews all things in the cosmos by the circling process of change measured by the heavenly bodies, returning to their former positions as they revolve around the heavens. The present issues from the past and the future from the present. Everything is made one by this continuity. Time is like a circle, where all the points are so linked that you cannot say where it begins or ends. For all points both proceed and follow one another forever. Yet there is an even deeper understanding. The past has departed and no longer is. The future has not arrived and is yet to be. Even the present does not last. So how can it be said to exist when it doesn't stay still for a moment? Chapter 7. The Gods. The mind of the cosmos, created from fire and air, the 7 administrators who regulate destiny, the 5 visible planets, and the sun and moon, whose orbits encompass the world of the senses. These celestial powers, know by thought alone, are called the gods, and they preside over the world. They are ruled over by the goddess Destiny, who transforms everything. According to the law of natural growth, creating from the permanent, unchanging reality a permanently changing world. The heavenly bodies are governed by atom, and from them flows into matter, an uninterrupted stream of soul. Matter is like a fertile womb, within which all things are conceived. All forms shape matter, and soul energy ceaselessly changes them, one into another. This process is directed by Atom, who infuses each form with soul in proportion to its standing, in scale of being. The earth is the storehouse of all matter, which it donates, and in return, it receives life from above. Re, the sun, unites heaven and earth, sending down energy from above, and raising up matter from below. He draws life to himself, and gives forth life from himself, ceaselessly lavishing light on all. Ra benefits not only heaven, but even the hidden depths of the earth. Unlike Atom, the hidden light, who is only known in thought. Through attentive contemplation, Ra exists in space and time, and we may see him with our eyes, shining the brightest in the cosmos, placed in the center, and wearing the cosmos. Like a wreath around him, he lights up above and below. He lets the cosmos go on in its way, but never lets it wander, for, like a skillful chariot driver, Ra has tied the cosmos to him, preventing it rushing off in disorder. And his controlling reins are rays of light. The sun is an image of the Creator, who is higher than the heavens. Just as that Supreme Creator gave life to the whole universe, Ra gives life to the animals and plants. His material body is the source of visible light, and if there be such a thing as a substance, not perceptible to the senses, the light of the sun must contain that substance. Yet what it is or how it flows, only Atom knows. The sun continuously pours forth light and life. Ra nurtures all vegetation, gathering the first fruits, produced by the power of his rays, as if in his mighty hands, bringing out sweet perfumes from the plants. In the same way, our souls, like heavenly flowers, are nurtured by the light of Adam's wisdom, and in return we should use on his service all that grows within us. Chapter 8. The Hierarchy of Creation. Adam creates the cosmic mind. The cosmic mind creates the cosmos. The cosmos creates time. Time creates change. The essence of Atom is primal goodness. The essence of the cosmic mind is permanent sameness. The essence of the cosmos is a beautiful order. The essence of time is movement. The essence of change is life. Atom works through mind and soul. The cosmic mind works through immortality and duration. The cosmos works through increase and decrease. Change works through quality and quantity. The cosmic mind is in Atom. The cosmos is in eternity. Time is in the cosmos. Change is in time. The cosmic mind is permanently connected to Atom. The cosmos is made up of thoughts. In the cosmic mind is an image of Atom. The cosmos is an image of the cosmic mind. The sun is an image of the cosmos. Man is an image of the sun. Chapter 9. The Creation of Humankind. When the Creator, who, for want of a better name, we call Atom, had made the second God, which is the cosmos, he was pleased. His creation was beautiful and wholly filled with goodness, and he loved it like his child. In his kindness, Atom wished for there to be a creature capable of appreciating the beauty of his creation. So, by an act of will, he created humankind to be an imitator of his divine wisdom and nurturing love. Atum asked each heavenly god in turn, "What can you provide for humanity, which I am about to create?" The sun said it would shine all day, providing laughter as a source of joy for both mortal minds and the boundless universe itself. The moon promised sleep and silence, and to shine by night. Saturn offered justice and necessity. Jupiter gave peace and Mars struggle. Venus proffered love and pleasure. Mercury, who is also called Hermes, said, "I will make humankind intelligent. I will convey to them wisdom and knowledge of the truth. I will never cease to benefit all humanity." Atum was glad when he heard these words, and gave the command that man should come into being. Mind, the All-Father, who is life and light, gave birth to humanity, which bore his own image, and he took delight in his offspring. Joined to the gods by a sense of kinship, humanity worshipped them with piety and holy thoughts, while, for their part, the gods watch over humankind with concern and loving mercy. At first, man was solely eternal and spiritual, but Atum saw that his new creation could not tend the earth unless he sheltered him in a material envelope, giving man a mortal body as well as an immortal soul. So Atum bade nature be, and from his voice came a woman's form so lovely that the gods were smitten with her beauty. Atum made nature mistress of the world. She communed with herself, producing all kinds of seeds, which Atum took hold of with his hands, and scattered over the earth, who is the mother of all worldly things. Seeing in man a beautiful image of Atum, nature was filled with insatiable love. She clasped him to her, and they merged to become one in love, mortal and eternal blended and mingled, so that man may perform the demands of both sources of his nature. Firstly, to serve God, venerating and praising the things of heaven. Secondly, to assist and administer the things of earth by tilling the soil, navigating the waters, building on the land, and by serving each other, that strongest of bonds that links the human race together. Then Atum, the master of generation, bestowed on humankind the sacrament of reproduction, full of affection and joy, gladness and yearning, and all the heavenly love that is his being. I would have to explain the nature of this compelling sacred bond that binds a man and woman together, were it not that each one of us, if we explore our innermost feelings, can experience it for ourselves. Contemplate that supreme moment when each sex infuses itself with the other, one giving forth, and the other eagerly embracing. At that moment, through the intermingling of the two natures, the female acquires male vigor, and the male is relaxed in female languor. This sweet sacramental act we celebrate is shared in secret, because if performed openly, before impure eyes the ignorant may mock, and the divine power, manifesting in both sexes, will shy away. Chapter 10: The Birth of Human Culture. Humanity looked in awe upon the beauty and everlasting duration of creation. The exquisite sky flooded with sunlight, the majesty of the dark night lit by celestial torches, as the holy planetary powers trace their paths in the heavens in fixed and steady meter, ordering the growth of things with their secret infusions. Men looked with wonder and questioning, and, having observed the Maker's masterpiece, wanted to create things for themselves. Their Father gave permission, so the gods who administer the cosmos each shared with humanity a part of their power. Since the world is Atum's handiwork, those who maintain and enhance its beauty are cooperating with the will of Atum by contributing their bodily strength in daily care and labor to make things assume the shape which his purpose has designed. Chance is movement without order, and skill is the force which creates order. The earth is kept in order by means of humanity's knowledge and application of the arts and sciences, for Atum willed that the universe should not be complete until man had played his part. Atom, the fabricator of the cosmos, graced the earth for a little time with our great father Osiris and the great goddess Isis, that they might give us the help we so much needed. They brought humanity divine religion and stopped the savagery of mutual slaughter. They established rites of worship in correspondence to the sacred powers of the heavens. They consecrated temples and instituted sacrificial offerings to the gods that were their ancestors. They gave the gifts of food and shelter. They taught men to swathe the decaying corpses of the dead. Having learnt Atum's secret laws, they became lawgivers to humankind. They introduced the mighty god of oaths as founder of pledges and good faith, and so filled the world with justice. They devised the initiation and training of the prophet priests, so that through philosophy they might nurture men's souls and cure sickness of the body with the healing arts. Chapter 11. Man is a marvel. Atom is first, the cosmos is second, and man is third. Atom is one, the cosmos is one, and so is man. For like the cosmos, he is a whole made up of different diverse parts. The Maker made man to govern with him, and if man accepts this function fully, he becomes a vehicle of order in the cosmos. Man may know himself, and so know the cosmos by being aware that he is an image of Atom and of the cosmos. He differs from other living things in that he possesses mind. Through mind, he may commune with the cosmos, which is the second God, and by thought he may come to knowledge of Atom, the one God. The human body encloses pure mind, as if within a walled garden which shelters and secludes it, so that it may live in peace. Man has this twofold nature. In his body he is mortal, and in his intelligence he is immortal. He is exalted above heaven, but is born a slave to destiny. He is two-spirit, as his father is two-spirit. He is sleepless, as his father is sleepless. Yet he is dominated by carnal desires and lost in forgetfulness. Of all beings that have soul, only man has a twofold nature. One part, called the image of Atom, is single, undivided, spiritual, and eternal. The other part is made of the four material elements. One comes from the primal mind. It has the power of the Creator and is able to know Atom. The other is put in man by the revolution of the heavens. Man is the most divine of all beings, for amongst all living things, Atom associates with him only, speaking to him in dreams at night, foretelling the future for him. In the flight of birds, the bowels of beasts, and the whispering oak, all other living things inhabit only one part of the cosmos. Fishes in water, animals on the earth, birds in the air. Man penetrates all of these elements With his sense of sight, he even grasps the heavens. To speak without fear, human beings are above the gods of heaven, or at least their equal. For the gods will never pass their celestial boundaries and descend to earth, but a man may ascend to heaven, and what is more, he may do so without leaving the earth. So vast an expanse can his power encompass. By Atum's will, humankind is compacted of both divinity and mortality. He is more than merely mortal and greater than the purely immortal. Man is a marvel, due honor and reverence. He takes on the attributes of the gods, as if he were one of their number. He is familiar with the gods because he knows he springs from the same source. He raises reverent eyes to heaven above and tends the earth below. He is blessed by being the intermediary. He loves all below him and is loved by all above him. Confident of his divinity, he throws off his solely human nature. He has access to all. His keenness of thought descends to the depths of the sea. Heaven is not too high for the reach of his wisdom. His quick wits penetrate the elements. Air cannot blind his mental vision with its thickest fog. Dense earth cannot impede him. Deep water cannot blur his gaze. Man is all things. Man is everywhere. Man not only receives the light of divine life, but gives it as well. He not only ascends to God, but even creates gods, just as Atum has willed that the inner man be created in his likeness, so we on earth create the gods in our human image. Is this not worthy of wonder? There are then these three: Atum, cosmos, man. The cosmos is contained by Atum. Man is contained by the cosmos. The cosmos is the son of Atum. Man is the son of the cosmos, and the grandson, so to speak, of Atum. Atum does not ignore man, but acknowledges him fully as he wishes to be fully acknowledged by man. For this alone is man's purpose and salvation: the ascent to heaven and the knowledge of Adam. Chapter 12: The Zodiac and Destiny. When the Creator had created this beautifully ordered universe, he wanted to order the world also. So he sent down man, a mortal creature, made in the image of an immortal being, to be an embellishment of the divine body of the cosmos. It is man's function to complete the work of Atum. He was made to view the universe with awe and wonder, and to come to know its maker. At first, the heavenly gods complained, saying, "You are being rash in creating humanity." They see with inquisitive eyes and hear what they have no right to hear. They reach out with audacious hands. They will dig up the roots of plants and investigate the properties of stones. They will dissect the lower animals and one another also. They will seek to discover how it is that they are alive and what is hidden within. They will cut down the woods of their native land and sail across the sea to see what lies there. they will dig mines and search the uttermost depths of the earth. All this might be bearable, but they will do much more. They will press on to explore the world above, seeking by observation to discover the laws that govern the movements of the heavens. Atum replied, I will build the Zodiac, a secret mechanism in the stars, linked to unerring and inevitable fate. The lives of men, from birth to final destruction, shall be controlled by the hidden workings of this mechanism. And when the mechanism began to work, the keen-eyed goddess, Destiny, supervised and checked its movements. Through this mechanism, destiny and necessity are cemented together. Destiny sows the seed. Necessity compels the results. In the wake of destiny and necessity comes order, the interweaving of events in time. Atum implants each human soul in flesh by means of the gods who circle in heaven. It is man's lot to live his life according to the fate determined for him by these circling celestial powers, and then to pass away and be resolved into the elements. There are some whose name will live on through the memorials of their mighty handiwork, but the names of the many will fade into darkness. Few can escape their fate or guard against the terrible influence of the Zodiac. For the stars are instruments of destiny which bring all things to pass in the world of men. If, however, the rational part of a man's soul is illuminated by a single ray of Atum's light, the workings of these gods is as nothing, for all gods are powerless before the supreme light, but such men are few. Most are led and driven by the gods, which govern earthly life using our bodies as the instruments of destiny. To my way of thinking, however, it is our duty not simply to acquiesce in our human state, but through intense contemplation of divine things to detach ourselves from our merely mortal nature. Chapter 13, The Universal and the Particular. Atum arranged the constellations of the Zodiac in harmony with the movements of nature and charged them with producing all the forms of the animals. When these gods had used their different powers, there emerged four-footed beasts, creeping things, fishes and winged birds, grass and flowering herbs, all according to their different natures, and each containing the seed of the continuance of their species. Every living thing has its own unique form, given to it by the power of the Zodiac. This form is appropriate to its species, yet each is individual. The human race, for example, shares a common universal form, by which we know that a man is a man, yet all human beings have a distinctly different particular form of which no two are entirely alike. Each particular form is unique because it inhabits a unique time and place. The particular forms change, in every moment of every hour as the gods of the Zodiac revolve in their celestial circle. The universal forms do not change, just as the constellations remain the same, but instant by instant, the particular forms transform as the sphere of heaven changes as it turns. The sky is wet then dry, cold then hot, bright then dark. But these rapidly alternating forms are all subsumed under the universal unchanging form of the sky. The earth is ever changing, generating, producing, yielding different crops. Yet it remains the earth. Water may be standing or flowing, but it is still water. The human body is an earthly temple, constructed by the power of the Zodiac, which makes myriad forms from simple archetypes. There are 12 signs of the Zodiac, and the forms they produce fall into 12 divisions. They are, however, inseparably united in their action. Nature makes the human body so that its constitution resonates with the patterns of the stars in such a way that they mutually affect one another. When we are born, the planetary gods, who are at that time on duty as ministers of birth, take charge of us. These particular powers that change, according to the rotation of the planets, make their way in through the body and mold the shape of our souls. They penetrate our nerves and marrow, veins and arteries, even our innermost organs. Chapter 14. Incarnation of the Soul. All souls are parts of one soul, which is the soul of the cosmos. Souls all have one nature. They are neither male nor female. Such differences of sex arise only in the body. In the world above, there are 2 gods, who are servants of Atum's goodness, called the Keeper of Souls and the Conductor of Souls. The Keeper is in charge of disembodied souls. The Conductor sends down these souls from time to time into physical incarnation. Nature works alongside these gods, making mortal vessels into which souls are poured. Nature also has 2 assistants, called memory and skill. Memory ensures that nature creates individual forms that are copies of the primal universal forms. Skill ensures that the individual frame is fashioned in conformity with the soul which will embody it, seeing to it that lively souls have lively bodies, sluggish souls have sluggish bodies, powerful souls have powerful bodies. The soul, which is spiritual, has its own wrappings, which are also spiritual. These are coats made of air. When such coats are thin and transparent, the soul is intelligent. When they are dense and muddied, like the air in stormy weather, the soul cannot see far, but is only aware of its immediate predicament. The differences in character of the pharaohs are not determined by the nature of their soul, for all kingly souls are godlike, but by the gods that escort the soul into incarnation. souls of such quality that incarnate for so high a purpose do not descend without attendants. For divine justice knows how to assign to each his due, even when exiled from the happy land. When the soul is accompanied by warlike gods, this pharaoh will wage war. When the gods are peaceful, he will maintain peace. When they are musical, he will make music. When they are just, he will rule wisely. When they are lovers of truth, he will be a philosopher. For souls, by necessity, cling to the temperament of the gods, who bring them down to earth, for when they sink into the human condition, they forget their own nature and are conscious only of the disposition of those who have shut them in this mortal tomb. The forces which accompany the soul do not arrive together. Some enter with the soul at the moment of birth and act on the irrational parts of the soul. The purer forces arrive at adolescence and cooperate with the rational part of the soul. I have seen a vision of souls about to be shut up in bodies. Some of them wailed and moaned. Some struggled against their doom, like noble beasts caught by crafty hunters and dragged away from their wild home. One shrieked, and looking up and down exclaimed, "O heaven, source of being, bright shining stars, and unfailing sun and moon, light and life breath of the one, all you that share our home, how cruel it is that we are being torn away from such celestial splendor. We are to be expelled from this holy atmosphere, and from the blissful life we live here, to be imprisoned in a mean and sorry place. What hard necessities wait for us? What hateful thing will we have to do to meet the needs of a body that will quickly perish? Our eyes will see little, and only through the fluid which these orbs contain. And when we see our vast heavenly home, contracted to a size as small as an eye, our sorrow will never cease. We shall not even see clearly, for we have been condemned to darkness. And when we hear our brothers and sisters blowing with the wind, we shall grieve that we are no longer breathing in unison with them. Chapter 15. Death and Immortality. The end of becoming is the beginning of destruction. The end of destruction is the beginning of becoming. Everything on earth must be destroyed, for without destruction, nothing can be created. The new comes out of the old. Every birth of living flesh, like every growth of crop from seed, will be followed by destruction. But from decay comes renewal through the circling course of the celestial gods and the power of nature, who has her being in the being of atom. For man, time is a destroyer, but for the cosmos, it is an ever-turning wheel. These earthly forms that come and go are illusions. How can something be real which never stays the same? But these transitory, illusory things arise from the underlying permanent reality. Birth is not the beginning of life. only of an individual awareness. Change into another state is not death, only the ending of this awareness. Most people are ignorant of the truth and therefore afraid of death, believing it to be the greatest of all evils. But death is only the dissolution of a worn-out body. Our term of service as guardians of the world is ended when we are freed from the bonds of this mortal frame and restored, cleansed, and purified to the primal condition of our higher nature. After quitting the body, mind, which is divine by nature, is freed from all containment. Taking on a body of light, it ranges through all space, leaving the soul to be judged and punished according to its deserts. Souls do not all go to the same place, nor to different places at random. Rather, each is allocated to a place that fits its nature. When a soul leaves the body, it undergoes a trial and investigation by the chief of the gods. When he finds a soul to be honorable and pure, he allows it to live in a region that corresponds to its characteristics. But if he finds it stained, with incurable ignorance he hurls it down to the storms and whirlwinds, where it is eternally tossed between sky and earth on the billowing air. Only a good soul is spiritual and divine, having wronged no one, and come to know Atom. Such a soul has run the race of purity and becomes all mind. After it leaves its physical form, it becomes a spirit in a body of light, so that it may serve Atom. At the dissolution of the body, first the physical form is transformed and is no longer visible. The vital spirit returns to the atmosphere. The bodily senses go back to the universe and recombine in new ways to do other work. Then the soul mounts upwards through the structures of the heavens. In the first zone, it is relieved of growth and decay. In the second, evil and cunning. In the third, lust and deceiving desire. In the fourth, domineering arrogance. In the fifth, unbalanced audacity and rashness. In the sixth, greed for wealth. In the seventh, deceit and falsehood. Having been stripped of all that was put upon it by the structures of the heavens, the soul now possesses its own proper power and may ascend to the 8th sphere, rejoicing with all those that welcome it and singing psalms to the Father. The gods that dwell above the 8th sphere sing praises with a voice that is theirs alone. Call each soul to surrender to the gods, and so each one becomes itself a god. By entering communion with Atom, this is primal goodness. This is the consummation of true knowledge. Having been initiated into immortality, a human soul, now transformed into a god, joins the gods who dance and sing in celebration of the glorious victory of the soul. Chapter 16, Ignorance of the Soul. It is impossible to be permanently happy. While attached to a body, a man should train his soul in this life, so that when he enters the other world, where he is able to see Atum, he does not lose his way. Each soul's hope of eternal life rests in his life here on earth. But many cannot believe this, seeing it as an empty story, to be laughed at, for the possessions of this life are too pleasant, and such pleasures grip the soul by the throat, holding it down to earth. Our possessions possess us. We were not born with possessions, but acquired them later. Everything a man uses to gratify his body is alien to his original godlike nature. Not only possessions, even the body is foreign to our true self. The mind of the cosmos is known through thought alone. A soul with no inner vision is blind to Atum's goodness, tossed by the sea of passions, which the body breeds. What fire burns like impurity? What hungry predator has the power to maim the body, as impurity does to mutilate the soul? Can't you see the torture that the impure soul endures? It shrieks, "I am burning. I am on fire. I don't know what to say or do. I am devoured by the miseries that possess me." Are not such cries the appeals of a soul in torment? Such a soul bears the body like a burden, as its master, not as its slave. Tear off this cloak of shadows, this web of ignorance, these shackles of decay, this living death, this conscious corpse, this portable tomb, this robber in the house, this enemy that hates all that you love, this garment that smothers you and holds you down. Ignorance floods the land. Its currents sweep you away. Don't be borne downstream. Make use of the back flow. Seek the safe haven of liberation. Anchor there and find a guide to lead you to the house of knowledge. There you will see with the heart the brilliant brightness. If you shut your soul up in your body and demean yourself, saying, "I cannot know, I am afraid, I cannot ascend to heaven," then what have you to do with Atum? Wake up your sleeping soul. Why give yourselves to death when you could be immortal? You are drunk with ignorance of Atum. It has overpowered you, and now you are vomiting it up. Empty yourselves of darkness, and you will be filled with light. There is no greater mistake than to have the power to know Atum and not to use it, simply wishing and hoping to know him is a road that leads straight to goodness. It is an easy road to travel. Everywhere Atum will come to meet you. Look, and he appears, at times and places when you least expect. While you are awake or asleep, when you travel by water or land, by night or by day, whilst you are speaking or silent, this is because Atum is all. Chapter 17, Knowledge of Atum. To know Atum, you must share his identity, for only like can truly know like. Leave behind the material world and imagine yourself immeasurably expansive. Rise out of time to eternity. Believe that for you, nothing is impossible. See that you are immortal and learned in every art and science. Be at home in the haunts of every living creature. Make yourself higher than the highest and deeper than the depths. Embrace within yourself all opposites, heat and cold, hard and fluid. Think yourself everywhere at once, on land, at sea, in heaven. Imagine yourself unborn in the womb, yet also young and old, and already dead, and in the world beyond the grave. See that everything coexists within mind, all times and all places, all things of all shapes and sizes. Then you will know Atom. If it is possible to talk of the substance of Atom, then mind is the very divine substance, although only Atom knows its precise nature. Mind is not separate from Atom, but emanates from him, like light from the sun. In human beings, mind produces divinity. Through mind, some become godlike. For as Osiris teaches, gods are immortal men, and men are mortal gods. Mind is the divine part of a human being, which is capable of rising to heaven. The material part, consisting of fire, water, earth, and air, is mortal and remains earthbound, so that he does not abandon the body that has been entrusted to him. Soul is nourished by fire and air, and the body by water and earth. Mind is the fifth part, which comes from light and is bestowed on humankind alone. Of all the beings that have soul, only human beings elevated by this gift of mind may attain knowledge of Atom. Such knowledge is not opinion, which is only a poor copy of knowledge, an echo in comparison with a voice, the dim reflected light of the moon, compared to the brilliance of the sun. Mind and speech are great gifts that Atom bestowed on humans alone. Used wisely, they make a man like the immortal gods, only different in that he is incarnate in a physical form. When he leaves behind this body, mind and speech will be his guides, leading him to join the company of gods and other souls that have attained the supreme bliss. Other creatures have voice, but not speech. Each living creature has its own unique voice, but speech is shared, in common by all humans. Humankind is one, and speech is also one. It is translated from tongue to tongue. Yet whether in Egyptian, Persian, or Greek, the meaning remains the same. This is because speech is an image of mind, and mind is an image of Atom. By Atom's will, mind is like a prize that human souls may win. He filled a great bowl with mind and sent it down to earth, telling a herald to announce, "Listen, every human heart, immerse yourself in mind, and recognize the purpose of your birth. Ascend to him who sent this bowl." Those that bathe themselves in mind find true knowledge and become complete. Yet they are not pleasing. To the mass of men, they are thought mad and laughed at. They are hated and despised, and may even be put to death. Chapter 18, Rebirth. No one can be saved until he is born again. If you want to be reborn, purify yourself of the irrational torments of matter. The first of these is ignorance. The second is grief. Third is lack of self-control. Fourth is desire. Fifth is injustice. Sixth is greed. Seventh is deceit. Eighth is envy. Ninth is treachery. 10th is anger. 11th is rashness. 12th is malice. Under these 12 are many more, which force the man who is bound to the prison of the body to suffer from the torments they inflict. But by Atum's mercy, they may all depart and be replaced by understanding. This is the nature of rebirth. This is the only road to reality. It is the way our ancestors trod to discover primal goodness. It is sacred and divine, but a hard highway for the soul to travel in a body. For the soul's first step is to struggle against itself, stirring up a civil war. It is a feud of unity against duality, the one seeking to unite, and the other seeking to divide. He who is reborn communes with the All-Father, who is light and life. You will only experience this supreme vision when you stop talking about it, for this knowledge is deep silence and tranquility of the senses. He who knows the beauty of primal goodness perceives nothing else. He doesn't listen to anything. He cannot move his body at all. He forgets all physical sensations and is still while the beauty of goodness bathes his mind in light and draws his soul out of his body, making him one with eternal being. For a man cannot become a god whilst he believes he is a body. To become divine, he must be transformed by the beauty of primal goodness. The womb of rebirth is wisdom, the conception is silence. The seed is goodness. Those born of this birth are not the same. They are of the gods, and children of Atum, the one God. They contain all. They are in all. They are not made up of matter. They are all mind. Rebirth is not a theory that you can strive to learn, but when Atum wills, he will remind you. A man may only seek to know Atum by controlling his passions and letting destiny deal as she wills with his body, which is no more than clay. That belongs to nature and not to him. He should not attempt to improve his life by magic or oppose his fate using force, but allow necessity to follow its course. For the man of vision, all things are good, even if they appear evil to others. When men devise mischief against him, he sees it in the light of his knowledge of Atum, and he, and only he, transforms evil into goodness. Chapter 19, Secret Teachings. Now that you have learnt these secrets, you must promise to keep silence and never to reveal how the rebirth is transmitted. These teachings have been set down in private to be read only by those whom Atum himself wills to know them. Only if you contemplate all that I have said will you know it to be true. If you do not, you will not believe me, for belief grows from contemplation and disbelief from lack of thought. Speech alone cannot convey the truth, but the power of mind is extraordinary, and when it has been led by speech to think things through thoroughly, it can find the peace of true beliefs. Only if grasped by thought in this way will my teachings be understood. I have, as far as is possible, painted for you a likeness of Atum, which, if gazed upon with the eyes of your heart, will lead you to the upward path. The vision itself will be your guide, for it has this power peculiar to itself that it takes possession of those who have seen it and draws them out just as a magnet draws iron from the black earth. This is the journey of knowledge. Speed towards this knowledge, for although it is hard to let go of the familiar and return to the old home from which we originated, Atum's grace never fails, and there is no end to his bounty. He is by nature a musician who composes the harmony of the cosmos and transmits to each individual the rhythm of their own music. If the music becomes discordant, don't blame the musician, but the lyre string he plays that has become loose and sounds flat, marring the perfect beauty of the melody. But I have noticed that when an artist deals with a noble theme, his lyre becomes mysteriously tuned so that its deficiencies issue glorious music to the amazement of his listeners. It has been like this with me. I confess my weaknesses, but by Atum's power, my music is made good, and he will likewise make your music perfect. There is no discord. Amongst the inhabitants of heaven, all have one purpose, one mind, one feeling, for they are bound by the spell of love into one harmonious whole. The earthly part of the universe would seem rude and savage, without sweet melodies. This is why Atum sent down the choir of muses to live amongst humankind and inspire music so that men could adore divinity with hymns of praise in polyphony with the psalms of heaven. So let us adore Atum with deep gratitude, because words are only praise when he accepts them. Chapter 20, In Praise of Atum. In a place open to the sky, facing west at the hour of sunset, or east at sunrise, I pray that the cosmos be flung open to me, and that all nature may receive the sound of my psalms. Open, great earth and trees, silence your waving boughs, for I am about to sing the praise of the one and all. Justice, praise the just through me. Goodness, praise the good through me. Truth, praise the true through me. Selflessness, praise the all through me. It is your words that through me sing your praises, for all comes from you, and all returns to you. Accept these pure offerings of speech from a heart and soul uplifted. You of whom no words can tell, no tongue can speak, and only silence can declare. I thank you with a brimming heart, for it is only by your grace that I see your light and come to know you. I thank you whose name no man knows, you whom we honor with the title Atom, because you are our master. You whom we call Father, because you have shown in all your acts towards us the loving kindness and warm affection that a father feels. No, your love is greater than a father's love, for you have given us the gifts of mind and speech and knowledge. Mind, so that we may approach you. Speech, that we may call to you. Knowledge, so that we may experience you, finding our salvation in your light and becoming filled with bliss. We can thank you only by learning to know your greatness. I have learnt to know you. You, the most brightly blazing light of mind, I have learnt to know you. You, the true life of humankind, I have learnt to know you. You, the prolific all-womb, which impregnates itself, I have learnt to know you. You, the eternal constancy, which stands unmoved and causes the whole universe to revolve. Who can speak about you? Who can speak to you? Where shall I look to praise you? Upwards or downwards? For you are space, in which all things are contained. There is no place but you. All is in you. What offering can I bring you? For you are all things. You give everything and receive nothing. There is nothing that you lack. For what shall I praise you? For the things you manifest, or the things you conceal? How shall I sing to you? Am I my own? Have I anything which is mine? Am I other than you? You are all that I am. You are all that I do. You are all that I say. You are all that happens. You are all that has not occurred. You are mind in your thinking. You are Father in your creating. You are Atom who does everything. You are primal goodness everywhere. You have revealed your being, and I am overcome. While I am still in the body, you have made me a god by the gift of your eternal life, and I am filled with joy. With these words of praise, I adore you, who alone are goodness. I make no prayer but this, that by your will I be kept always, still knowing and loving you, and that I never fall away from this blessed life. Father, you have filled me with this good and beautiful vision. My mind's eye is almost blinded with splendor, more penetrating than visible light, yet so full of immortal life that it does not hurt or harm me. By your mercy, a form has been fashioned within me, which is not made of matter, and I have entered into an immortal body, I have been born again in mind, and the bodily shape I had before has left me. I am no longer an object, tangible, colored with spatial dimensions. I am alien to all that is seen, with bodily eyesight. To such eyes, I am no longer visible. I am your instrument. Mind is your plectrum, and your wisdom plucks music from me. I sing a song of my soul, for your love has reached me. You have made me a new being, and I no longer see with bodily eyes, but witness with mind when a man is born again. He is not a body of 3 dimensions. He is all mind. Now that I see in mind, I perceive myself to be the all. I am in heaven and earth. I am in water and air. I am in beasts and plants. I am a newborn babe. I am still in the womb. I am yet to be conceived. I am the presence which is present everywhere. I see incredible depths. How can I describe this vision? With my mind, I see mind. I know the one that wakes me from forgetfulness. I see my soul. I am afraid to speak. I have found the source of the power of all powers that has no beginning. I see a fountain bubbling with life. I am mind. I have seen. I have found that which I seek. I know peace in your purpose. By your will, I am born again. Language is inadequate. The gods sing a hymn of silence, and I am silently singing.